Hey, what's up, everybody? So, I wanted to do a quick little video talking about the subject of if you are thinking about getting into 3D printing or you're already in 3D printing field. Some people, you know, whatever the reason that you're getting into 3D printing, whether you just want to make things, you think it's cool, or if you're trying to make a business, you want to earn additional income by 3D printing things and selling them and getting money. So, this all comes about because earlier today, um, I'm a member of several Facebook groups about 3D printing, and a gentleman had posted a link to well, let me say this. There's a little bit of backstory. In the 3D printing world, there are several websites that you can go to get free files for 3D printing. A lot of there's websites called Thingiverse, there's website called Maker's World, there's website called Cults 3D. There's tons of websites where you can go and get free files in order to print. Now, these files are made by designers and 3D artists and engineers and things like that spend their time, their effort in making these, and then they essentially donate their work to the community so that anybody can download their files and print them for their own use. Now, here's the thing: on a lot of these files, the designer themselves will specifically say whether how they allow their file to be used, in the sense of, do they want you to, most of them will say something to the effect of for personal use only, non-commercial, or they won't specifically say they don't want you to use it in a commercial capacity, but they will say for personal use only, something like that. And this that's because they're essentially donating their time and their effort and their skill to the community at large for people to use freely, but for themselves to use. Okay. Um, anyway, in one of these groups, a man posted a link to a model on a website called Thingiverse, and it was a model essentially for like a tumbler, a Yeti style cup, if you know what a Yeti cup is. But anyway, he was asking, what would you charge to print this for somebody? And I made the comment, well, if it's a free file, and unless the designer of the file specifically says that you're allowed to use it commercially, in order to, you can take it, print it, and you can profit from their work, then it's a no-no, because it is intellectual property. And if you're thinking about getting into 3D printing, you really need to brush up on this, because it's you can get away a lot of times with 3D printing things, and you are, especially if the files are free, you're using someone else's property. You're using their intellectual property. And I just made the comment about how, unless you have written permission or this person allows commercial use of their file, you're not supposed to do that. You could be risking, you know, legality issues. And then another individual came on and was basically saying how that they would price it, and that they do that locally, and as a side gig, somebody will come to them with a file from these various websites and say, how much would you charge me to print this? And I said, well, that's the same thing. You can't do that, And his his way of trying to get around it technically and change phrasing and words was to say, well, technically I'm not selling the print. I'm selling my service of printing it. I'm not selling the model specifically. And I was like, you can word it however you want. You can call it unicorn farts. It doesn't matter. You're still getting his thing was, if I have access to the file and somebody wants me to print it, I'm going to print it, and I'm charging them for my service, not the model. And I was like, yeah, that doesn't work. You can word it, try to technically get around it, try to get technicalities or whatever. That doesn't matter. And he said, oh, I do this. I do this. I don't do it professionally. I do it as a side gig to make money. I also sell my own designs on Etsy. And I said, well, okay, then how about you let me have your files for your designs on Etsy and let me provide a service of printing them for people and you not get anything from it. I bet you wouldn't like that. Well, he didn't respond to that because he kind of realized that he was talking out of his ass. Basically, the deal is that if you're going to get into 3D printing, especially if you want to sell 3D prints, you need to go about it the right way. There are numerous websites out there that have commercial accounts that you can get. I have 4 commercial licenses from various websites that allow me, I pay a monthly fee, but it allows me to commercially sell any of the files that they have on their website. That covers, it's a CYA, cover your buttocks. Because let's say you started a little 3D business and you're getting all these files for free off of these various websites and you're selling them at a local craft fair or a flea market, or you're setting up and you're doing it locally or whatever, and you think, okay, well, this is no big deal. I'm not advertising online or anything like that. Well, okay, you might get away with it for a while. But then what if somebody buys one of your things and they brag about it? Say they post a picture on social media and it makes the rounds and it gets through the 6 degrees of separation and it makes it far and wide, and somebody says, wait a minute, that looks familiar. I have a friend that designs things for 3D printers and that looks just like something he designed or she designed. Let me reach out to them. And then they reach out to them and they say, hey, doesn't this look exactly like the thing you designed? Yeah, it does. It looks exactly like the thing I designed. And then, there you go. Now, it doesn't matter if you printed that and you sold it for $1. They can bring intellectual property suit against you for many times the potential value of profit that you got, So, hopefully you saved every dime you ever made selling 3D prints off of free files that you got online, because now you could be on the hook for lots and lots of money. So, if you're going to get into 3D printing, if you want to do it as a side business or something like that, cover your butt, do it the right way, find a website that you like the designs, you think you can print and sell their stuff, get a commercial license, pay your monthly fee, and then you're covered and you can print and sell as much as you want. And there's some websites, like there's one called STLFlix, that you can get a commercial license with them, and most of these sites are constantly updating. They're adding new designs, so you're paying a monthly fee, but you're getting like ongoing new things that you can print all the time. But they even have little media packets included with each of their designs that helps you sell them. That's part of the commercial thing. So anyway, don't try to get by on a technicality. Do it the right way, and let's keep the community healthy and not crappy like almost every other community. So anyway, see you later.